If you feel like your life, your habits, or your goals have gotten off track in any way, let's talk about hitting that reset button together. Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. We are just about halfway through the year, and when we hit that halfway point throughout the year, a lot of people tend to fall into a little bit of a slump, fall off track with their goals, their habits, their goals in work, or their personal life kind of feels a little bit of a mess. So today I want to talk about kind of how we can all hit that reset button a little bit and get things back on track, feel like it's New Year's all over again, and start anew. And I think the first really important thing to acknowledge, if you do feel like you are one of these people that has kind of fallen off track a little bit, is how that happened and why that happened. If you don't dig deep and recognize why you're in the place that you feel that you are, you're never going to fix those habits for the future. Be kind to yourself when you're doing that. Recognize that it's okay. Our lives always get busy. There's so many different things that we have to juggle. Just accept it and move on. Complaining isn't going to get you anywhere, but figuring out why you got there to make sure you can figure out how to avoid getting there again in the future is what's going to be really important. Once you recognize how you got there, then you need to start thinking about how are the ways that you can prevent yourself from getting to that place again. And in that, you need to be as confident in yourself as possible. And I know it's hard for me to just say, be confident in yourself, but it's so true. You have to recognize the positive things in your life and the things that are going well. Sometimes when one aspect of your life feels like just a complete mess, it can feel like your entire life is a mess when that's truly not the case. If you sit down with a piece of paper and start writing all of the things that are actually going well for you, you might surprise yourself and you might kind of be proud of some of the things you have accomplished this year or some of the things that you're still keeping on track with. I know sometimes, like, if your health or fitness feels out of whack, everything feels out of whack. If your personal relationships feel out of whack, everything feels crazy. But just, I encourage you to go through and write that list of positives and start this process out as confident as possible. After you've gone through that process, there are a few things that I believe are fully in your control to change right now. Change them starting tomorrow morning if you want to, but they're gonna make you feel so much better and like you're back on track and like you're hitting that reset button. And the first thing is to clean your space. I'm sure if you've followed me for a while, you know that was probably gonna come out of my mouth, cleaning your space, organizing your space. But when you have a clean environment, you're gonna be much more productive and you're going to feel more at peace. I know that I personally feel so stressed out when everything around me is a mess. And once I just take a few minutes, clean things up, and make my space feel the way that I want it to feel, I can focus on what's important. So if you're gonna hit that reset button tomorrow morning, use the rest of the day today, however much time you have left, quickly pick up things, clean off those surfaces, clean off the floors, clean off the main areas that your eyes see. This isn't the time to go open every cabinet and every drawer and do a deep clean, deep declutter and organize everything. Just get rid of that visual clutter so when you're looking at your environment, it feels clean to you. The next thing that I feel like is directly in your control, at least for most people, is your health and fitness. Of course, this depends on your specific circumstances. I know there are certain people that maybe have specific medical conditions or something that makes this more difficult. For most people, this is something that you can take action right now and make a huge difference in your life and make everything feel so much better. Exercise gives you endorphins. We all know that. And I can attest to the fact that it's so much easier just to sit at home, sit on the couch and not get up and move, but you're gonna feel a lot better. We all know that you feel better when you exercise, so you just have to push yourself to get up. Whether it's a walk or, going all out in the gym, it doesn't matter. Just get up and move your body. Start to make healthier food choices too. You don't wanna go from 0 to 60 here if you're somebody that really fell off track with your diet and exercise. Don't expect that tomorrow you can just completely start anew and start working out 7 days a week and eating only healthy foods and never slipping up. If you don't have those realistic expectations, you're gonna set yourself up for failure. But when you're hitting that reset button and resetting your life, start tomorrow by making those conscious choices to eat a little bit healthier and to get outside and go for a walk. I'm sure you all know the effect that that's gonna have on your mood and on your life. When I get to the point where I feel like I am so overwhelmed, everything's out of control, and I just don't know where to start, the first thing that I do is prioritize. It is so important to figure out where those priorities lie and what actually needs to get done versus the things that you can probably let slip, or if you have extra time, then you can address them, but they're not the main priorities. Prioritize those things, figure out your actual to-do list, and then create a schedule for yourself. That's what I do if I want to start anew the next day and I am so overwhelmed. I just literally write out a full schedule for the whole day, and I just break it up chunk by chunk and write down exactly what I want to accomplish. And it helps my brain focus on one thing at a time and checking through those lists. I like associating my to-do list with times. That's just something that helps me. But if creating that specific schedule for you to jumpstart your life isn't helpful, just do it from a to-do list. That's completely fine as well. Another thing that I think is really important when you're going to jumpstart things is think about tomorrow. How does that day look to you? And if you can't picture the entire day, what does your morning look like and what does your evening look like? Morning and evening routines have such an impact on our lives and our productivity and how we feel our day went. Sometimes things can kind of slip up in the middle, and honestly, I think that's okay, but think about what makes you feel good and what time you get up. What does that look like? What do you have for breakfast? What time do you get dressed? Are you exercising in the morning? All of those things, as well as in the evening. Are you doing an evening pickup? Or does a successful evening to you look like you and your spouse sitting on the couch together and watching your favorite TV show and unwinding? It really doesn't matter to me. It's about you, but figuring out what that ideal day looks like. And again, don't worry about the entire day if you can't picture that. Just what does your morning look like? What does your evening look like? And shoot for those two things tomorrow. The last thing I'll say is it's important to figure out what your why is. And by that, I mean, why is this important to you? Why was it something you wanted to stay on track with in the first place? Why is it important to you that you try and get back on track with it now? Understanding that is going to help motivate you to keep going in the future. And that's focusing on the things that fill your cup, that bring you joy, and the things that make you feel like you're having a good, productive life, a good, productive day, whatever it is. Just refocusing on that why is probably going to help you leaps and bounds to make you feel like you're starting with a clean slate. Now, I've said this before, you don't need to wait till the beginning of a year. It's kind of a nice time halfway through the year to feel like you have the time to reset. But if you're watching this at any point, just know that you can start over anytime you want. And if you try and press that reset button tomorrow and it doesn't work for you, press it again tomorrow. Just keep trying and trying again and trying to be better each and every day. That's the best that you can do, and don't forget to be kind to yourself. So those are my tips for how to press the reset button. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would love if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and leave some tips below if you have anything that you do to make yourself feel better and feel like you're starting with a clean slate. I would love to hear from you. But until next time, I will see you guys later.